Oh. This is Cousin Aaron's takeover of Adam's Answers, and I'm gonna play my favorite episode, Nostalgia. Roll film.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
It means remembering stuff you liked from before.
So, like, grandparent stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, Jackie and I back in '68 used to play that backgammon all the time. What are those things?
Oh, yeah, grandparents are pretty nostalgic, but that's because they have the most memories of all the people on the earth.
Unless they have Alzheimer's.
Unless they have Alzheimer's. But I'm kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, you definitely have a good memory for old stuff.
Yeah, but nostalgia is fun. I mean, it's neat to remember the stuff that we experienced ourselves.
I don't think you're making me care about this, though.
Give me 5 tries.
All right, you're on.
I've put together the top 5 coolest things to be nostalgic about if you're in your 30s. Number 5 is fruit snacks. These things.
Oh, that's a weird one. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I mean, as a cold lunch guy back in the day, I definitely had like 2 packs of those every day. I mean, we had the classic old school ones. What were those ones? Those were the...
Oh yeah, the fun fruits. Yeah, the first time I ever saw fruit snacks was Brenda Kuipers had them in her lunch in 2nd grade.
They were actually soft then and had real fruit juice.
Yeah,
Who
that's
knew?
right. In the commercials, you'd have to like tickle the tree with the face on it and they'd fall down on you.
And then it turned into sharks. The shark, super waxy, but delicious.
Yeah, the hammerhead was the best.
It was, because you could bite off the head and then it's still a shark.
Did you always have fruit snacks in your lunch growing up?
Pretty much all the time.
Okay, see, I never did. My parents were like, they're too expensive.
Gushers. My mom used the coupons all the time for all the new stuff. That's why all my friends are like, what's the new thing? Yeah,
And
okay.
you always knew.
Oh man, they were delicious.
Fruit snacks. So how are we doing so far?
Okay, I'm on board-ish.
Okay. Number 4, 1984 Tigers-Padres World Series.
Okay, all right. Now you're talking. I was young. Okay, all right.
Yeah?
Okay, all right. So we had Sweet Lou Whitaker.
Right.
Ooh. And then we had Alan Trammell. We had Jack Morris. We had Sweet Chet Lemon was in the outfield.
Chet Lemon?
Yeah, that is an amazing name.
And all those mustaches? I mean,
So many good mustaches. I mean, talk about mustaches, talk about Goose Gossage in the last game of the World Series in the Padres. I mean, oh my gosh, he had a stash mobile.
Number 3, the minivan.
Ooh.
Do you remember life before minivans?
Yeah, they were really, really long, hard metal grocery getter of station wagons. Yeah, cars.
Station wagons. I loved that you could sit and look backwards
Yeah,
in
I
certain
definitely
models.
did that with Nick Burt. Yep. See, you go back real far, and then you think about, well, what was your first one that you remember?
Oh, well, the Walters family had the Ford Aerostar. And I remember riding to school with them and being like, oh my gosh, they are so rich.
Well, and I remember like the Transport by Pontiac. That was literally a dustbuster with wheels on it.
Right.
It was disgustingly pointy, and like you always worried about if you got hit by a car or minivan on your bike. That's the one to do because you could just roll right over it. So
Right. I did think the Lumina was pretty cool. It probably was because they had Star Trek actors doing the commercials, and I thought that was really cool.
well, okay, and you guys owned one.
We did. We were a little late to the game, but we got the Mazda MPV, which was the first minivan that had the door that opened sideways instead of the slider door.
Yeah, because those are janky.
Janky.
Like real gross. And that was
Yeah.
before the remotes when you would go and like I think children lost legs.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
Sorry,
changed.
kids of the 80s.
Yeah, sorry about I get it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so. Number 2, we're gonna go back to the future.
Okay.
Gonna go back in time.
I was a huge fan of number 2. Number
yeah.
1 was for the 50s in us.
Right, well that's kind of the ironic thing is like Back to the Future is a nostalgic movie of people in the 80s remembering back to the 50s. And now here we are now thinking back to the 80s.
And then Back to the Future 2, we're nostalgic about 3 years ago, which happened.
Yeah, they would time travel forward to 2015.
Oh, floating cars and the Pizza Hut pizza that started out small went kapang.
I wanted that so bad.
Oh my gosh.
And the hoverboard.
And the Cubs, they're only off by predicting the Cubs World Series win by 1 year.
That's right, that's
Pretty
right.
cool. Okay, I get it.
And the number 1 is It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
Okay,
Yes?
yes. I'm so excited. I'm so scared. Oh.
That was the diet pills episode.
Oh, Jesse Spano.
A very
lay off the caffeine.
A very special episode.
Yeah, it was like the super low-end drug episode. It's like, oh, stay off that caffeine, kids.
Yeah.
I get it. It was good.
And everybody wore Gerbots, the coolest blue jeans.
But Jesse Spano, were you a Jesse girl? Or were you Kelly Kapowski? I was all about Kelly Kapowski.
See, and I really was digging Lark Voorhees.
Okay,
at
now
the
I get
time.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it because she played bass.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Zack Attack.
Okay, so can we agree then that nostalgia is definitely a thing?
It's pretty okay. I get it.
I mean, Stranger Things, super great. And part of the reason that I think people like it so much is because it's loaded for people like us who grew up in the 80s.
True, and like the Goldbergs, don't forget about that.
Right, or Ready Player One.
Okay, maybe we should call it nostalgia.
Okay.
So that was amazing. Okay, but why is this an Adam Answers?
I'm glad you asked, dear cousin. See, I think this works because kids are nostalgic too. Even if you're 8, you have great nostalgic feelings about Christmases and birthday parties from when you were 4 or 5. Like, I like my birthdays now, but not nearly as much as I did when I was that age.
Yeah, and I even remember thinking back to like the good old days of preschool and snack time and nap time and Big Wheel Day. Oh, I loved it.
Big Wheel Day was the best.
Kids, get a big wheel.
It's also really fun for moms and dads to share with their kids the stuff that they loved. To see your kids enjoying the same stuff that you enjoy, I think that helps families grow closer, and that is what we're all about here.
The more you know. Rainbow is Star.
I remember that.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And today, Cousin Aaron's answer is don't lock people out because it's mean.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, Dana Carvey in the elevator, SNL.
Dana Carvey?
Oh, he sang that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
did
that
he?
was
Okay.
SNL. That's another. See,
more
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
I know.
Nostalgia.
It's like this big ball that keeps rolling. I'm getting it.